What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So this one's going to be a little bit different, not so much reading focused, because the thing that I realized is September was a crazy, amazing, fun-filled month, and I kind of wanted to capture some of those moments here in this video. So I will say that this is more of one of those videos where it's not quite book related, but more of a video diaries of a sort. So if that sounds like something fun, definitely stick around. Thanks for joining me. It's reading time here at JPay's Corner. For those of you that are new here, welcome. My name is Jaya. I put out usually videos on bookish related content, primarily fiction related, every Wednesday and Sunday. And every once in a while, I'll have some randomness that's kind of scattered in, and that's basically what this video is going to be. For those of you that are returning, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for helping me create this wonderful community. I just felt like some wonderful things happened in September, and I just had to share those things. So first and foremost, during the month of September, early in the month of September, I had a bachelorette party that I attended, which was for my future sister-in-law who will be marrying my brother. And that was so much fun. So I actually had a video dedicated specifically to the bachelorette, the outfits we wore, the theme, all that kind of stuff in a different video. So coming from there, I basically returned on Labor Day weekend. And I came back after Labor Day weekend with the plan to take a couple of days off. And my friend was actually going to come into town and stay with me, which we were both so excited for. She had actually come over to our house on Friday before we decided to go out for the bachelorette, at which point my future sister-in-law had also come over because she wanted to hang out with the family. And I remember she sat down and she just looked at me and she looked at my friend and she was like, hey, you know, this is going to be an interesting weekend because I know it's my bachelorette, but I feel terrible. She's like, I have body aches, my throat's hurting. I think I might be coming down with something. We'll see how this goes. And so naturally, me being me and she being her, we had decided that we were going to share a room together because she was like, I would rather stay in a room with my future sister. And I was like, absolutely, because her best friend, who was also doing a joint bachelorette with her, had brought her younger sister along and they were staying together in a room. So it was a group of about 9 to 10 girls that had all gotten together, and there were different rooms in the Airbnb that we'd all stayed in, but I was sleeping right next to my beautiful future sister-in-law. And this would not have been a problem except for the fact that during the course of the bachelorette, we lost power at one point for about 12 hours. We also got caught outside in the rain in the middle of a lake while we were on our boat trip in Dallas. And then after that, I'd also gone on 2 major flights packed full of people over the course of Labor Day. So I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with this. Basically got back home and was dying. Unfortunately, my other friend had already booked her tickets to come and stay with me during this week because my husband was also out of town on a business trip. So we were like, great, we'll make the most of the week. I'll plan on working a couple of days, but outside of that, we'll spend some quality time together. She hasn't visited me in my new marital home yet. And so she was like, it'll be fun to just come hang out. We made all these plans. Lo and behold, she lands and I'm dying, and I find out that she is also dying. So the first day I went and picked her up from LAX. I was like, we're going to have a grand old time. We're driving back. I'm dying. We were supposed to hang out in LA. That got scrapped. Came back home, got some food from outside, had some soup, passed out. We thought we would be fine the next day. At this point, it hadn't really occurred to us that something may have been going on. So in the afternoon, we decided that we were going to go out. We went and got some coffee at a coffee shop. We made sure that we isolated ourselves. We sat outside in the coffee shop at a table far away from everyone else just to be on the safe side. But we were like, it's probably just allergies. We're going to be fine. And then from there, we ended up going to the beach. Now, the nice thing about the beach is that this was peak Wednesday, so no one else was really at the beach, and I just have some beautiful views of the water and the marine life for you guys in the next few slides. From there, we were supposed to go to dinner with a couple of my new friends and family that I'm creating for myself here in my new house, in my new town. And unfortunately, at that point, we were like, you know, maybe we should just test ourselves to be safe. Lo and behold, that test came back with some beautiful information, and I'm gonna have that here for you. So then 3 days of being sick together at home, sleeping in, being miserable, taking Paxlovid, which let me tell you, that medication packs a punch, and finally testing negative. We then decided to explore some other wonderful spots in the area that I'm in. We saw a beautiful garden library, which was absolutely stunning. I have some footage of that. They have different kinds of botanical garden areas throughout the course of this beautiful location. And then we also ended up going to a very cool cafe. And in that cafe, it's actually set up like a magical theme. So you walk in and there's this tree house that actually acts as your seating area. So I have some really cool footage of that. We went and got some lovely dinner, and then we actually ended up going out to the pier and just enjoying the water. So I just thought it would be fun to showcase little highlights from that wonderful trip I had with my friend.
don't know, don't know, I don't know, don't know, I don't know, don't know.
I hope you guys enjoyed that lovely footage of just this fun little quick girls trip that we got to have in the midst of being sick. Also, side note, we managed to finish watching the 3rd season of The Summer I Turned Pretty during this period of time, and we also started the show We Are Liars, but we didn't actually get that far in that show. And then she ended up making it through Wednesday. I did not, because I was waiting on my husband to watch that show with him. So she would watch that because she was a little further on the recovery path than I was. And so when I was dying and in bed, she was watching that as well. But overall, it was an amazing trip, and it was so much fun having her here. And it was just so special to share that experience with her because we've known each other since we were 6. And I can honestly say in the span of that time, we've stayed friends across states, across countries, across water, across land, across all kinds of places. We've gotten into crazy fights. We've grown together. We've done so many things together. We've been snowed in together. We've done some really dumb things that all teenagers do in their lifetime together. But we've never been sick together. So that was a unique experience, I have to say. The next set of footage I have here is actually of the Bachelorette that we threw for one of my new friends here in California. She is absolutely gorgeous, wonderful energy, positive person, lovely human being, and her joy in life is the holiday season. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately this year, she's going to be spending the holiday season back home, getting married. And so in order to celebrate her, we decided to bring Christmas to her. So this is some footage from The Bachelorette. We have images here of the setup within the Airbnb itself, the beautiful charcuterie board and food that had been brought in by everybody to enjoy as we were embarking on the Bachelorette weekend. We also have footage of the first activity that we did when we got there on Friday, which was kind of like decorating shirts and doing art. We also were having some crazy beautiful cocktails that were created by one of our friends who is an amazing bartender and great cocktail artist. And so that was a lot of fun. We may have imbibed a little too much in that. From there, the next morning, we then went to Sur La Table, where we ended up doing a croissant class, which was so much fun. I have footage of the croissant class here for you guys as well. I also ended up picking up a few little toys for myself. I love popcorn. I love movies. So I ended up getting these like cute little popcorn tubs, which were a great addition to my pantry. And my husband and I do use those now whenever we do movie nights and stuff. And then we ended up going to a lovely little restaurant in Oceanside called Jaune et Jolie, which is a Michelin star restaurant. It's French. It was absolutely incredible. I've never actually done a proper Michelin sit-down restaurant before, so it was a very unique experience. As far as the price point, it was on the pricier side, but as far as Michelin goes, I've heard it was actually a very reasonable price point. And on this tasting menu, they already had one vegetarian option for all of us that were vegetarian. We did have 2 in our group that did eat meat, so they were also able to enjoy their meats. However, the nice thing is because we had called the restaurant ahead of time and asked for accommodations, they actually gave us an extra vegetarian option for each of the vegetarians who came. So I have some footage of the beautiful meal and the dishes that we got to sample, which was absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, all the other footage after that of the brunch and all that kind of stuff, I seem to have lost. So I don't know what I did with the actual pictures from those events. But this was the primary day of the Bachelorette that was really, really special. And it was just so much fun to celebrate our beautiful bride. guys made it this far, thank you so much for being here. It means the absolute world to me to be able to share all these wonderful, amazing experiences with you guys. It's very strange. Like, I feel like 4 or 5 years ago, if you had asked me what would it look like being an adult, growing up, having a career, like being done with my training, getting married, starting a new life, moving to a new place, I never thought it would look like this. And it's just been so much fun to almost video diary this, because I feel like there's so much beauty to life and there's so much joy that surrounds us all the time. And while this month and this time period has been very busy and very, very full of things to do, it's just been really amazing cultivating and creating this life here. The last bit of footage I have here is actually to round out the weekend. We actually had a wonderful date night, my husband and I, after I came back from the Bachelorette. We did a one-on-one virtual paint night over Zoom, and that was so cool. The artist that we were working with, I had actually missed her class, and I was messaging her personally to say, hey, can I please get a refund on my ticket? And she was like, oh, you know what? You don't even need to do that. I can set up an individual class for you. And so it was just a really fun evening that my husband and I spent together. And I have a little footage of the painting that we created here. And I hope you guys like it. Today. If you guys did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. It's always fun to know which videos people are enjoying. I definitely like posting these because, like I said, they almost serve as video diaries for me. And I just think it's fun to see experiences that people are having. And I'm a very nosy person, so we'll just leave it there. That being said, we'll be back to regular programming in terms of bookish related content with our next video, most likely the October TBR. So definitely stay tuned for that. And then I also have another video coming out where I have been very confused as to which books I want to read first for the month of October. So I thought it would be fun to match outfits with book covers and kind of enjoy them that way. So that video will also be coming out soon. So looking forward to sharing all the bookish content with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you that are new here, once again, I put out videos every Wednesday and Sunday. I would love to have you be part of the bookish community. If it does sound like it's up your alley, please consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. It would mean the absolute world to me. For those of you that are returning, thank you again for everything that you guys have done to support me and help me create this community, for the comments, for the love, for taking the time to watch these videos. I know how busy life is, so I truly appreciate it. And also, I just want to say, wherever you guys are, whether you're new, whether you're returning, that everyone is happy, healthy, safe, and enjoying much needed love time with their, special people, with their loved ones, and that you're having a wonderful reading journey. I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.